Collections, classics, customs, restorations. This is Crossroads Speed Shop. Hey, welcome back to the Crossroads Diecast Speed Shop. I'm Skip, and today in the shop we have this 1970 Chevelle SS. It's a Hot Wheels casting. This actually is part of the Hot Wheels 1999 first editions. It's a pretty neat little car. I wanted to do one here on the channel where I customized it and stuff. So I've got several of them that I picked up at a flea market, and so I thought it'd be cool just to do a different paint job on it. I just wanted to try some things out. It's going to be pretty simple customization, but let's take it apart and look what we got. I've got it already drilled and tapped here, and again, it's a metal base. That's kind of neat. It's got the 5-spoke, typical Hot Wheels 5-spoke wheels. We'll change those out, get some different ones. It's got the little white interior. And nice blue glass. That shouldn't be any problem. The body, again, is nice. It's just out of the blister, so it shouldn't be a problem for anything we're going to do there. So we're going to get this thing into the stripper and start our project. Some builds we have coming up in the shop. First, on November 30th, we have the 4 Horsemen RV Invitational, followed on December 5th with the Custom Station Wagon Diecast International Builders Invitational, and then on the 17th, we have the Diecast International Builders Holiday Theme, and then on the 23rd, not the 31st of December, we have the 4 Horsemen Santa Claus build. Again, I hope you'll check out the build schedule for this year. It's on the YouTube channel, 4 Horsemen YouTube channel, and with all our builds. Also, be sure to hit the like, subscribe buttons so you don't miss out on any important notices or builds. Okay, we're back to work here on our 1970 Chevelle. I used a screwdriver to pry off, because where it's a metal base, you can't just snip off the little tabs. So I'm using to pry off this, and I took these 5 spokes off. I added these nice wheels from Samed wheels. Took a little bit of super glue and then some Instaset, and I put it on there to get them off. So we're going to take it off of here, and let's see how it fits and how that sits. Let's see how. Again, the gels works a little bit better because it stays in place and you don't have the capillary action that you normally get with another one. So, I'll put the So there we go. We got that. It's got a good fit, so it should be fine. Let's move on. All right. Well, we're back, and we have our 70 Chevy all cleaned up, and we primed it with some nice white Tamiya fine white primer, and then I've mixed up. What I'm going to do, because I've got several things I want to do here, but the first thing I want to do is to put on top of the primer a base coat of this Wicked Colors, and it's Wicked Metallic Charcoal. I'm going to put a couple coats of that on there, because then I'm going to put some Candy 2 over. So the way I usually mix this up, I take one of these little medicine cups and put in the Wicked Colors Metallic, and you want to make sure this is really thin when it's the metallic, because some of the metallic features help it flow better if you thin it out. It's about basically a 5-to-1 or 4-to-1 mixture of the paint to 1 of the high gloss. Get that mixed up, and then I add usually about 3 pipettes of this 4011 reducer. It kind of thins it out. It makes it a little bit easier to go through the airbrush, so that when you come to doing it, when it drops off, you get kind of like the consistency of milk. It's just a little bit heavy in water, but when it drops off it. So we're going to put that in. We're going to put it in the base. We're going to get that base coat on there. So let's move on. All right, hey, we're back. We've got our little 70s Chevelle SS all cleaned up. Got a couple coats of metallic charcoal on it from Wiki Colors, Createx Wiki Colors. Looks pretty good. It's going to make a good base for this. I wanted to use some of this, again, some of this Candy 2.0 Poison Green. I got the idea for this color from Austin over at Diecast Resurrection. He did a color like this, and I thought, wow, it come out really nice. So I'm going to try it. I think it'll look better even once we get the clear coat on some of it. But I got the green mixed up again. Basically a 50-50 mix of this, because this is a tint. This is not like a regular paint. And the UVLS clear high gloss. So we're going to get in the paint booth and see what we can come up with. All right, well, we're back, and we've been working on our 70 Chevy Chevelle. This has come out pretty nice. It's got, got a nice little bit of a metal flake in there from the charcoal metallic. And so that's really good. And then the poison ivy green really comes out good. So now we're going to put on some decals. Now, when I'm doing like store-bought, or I guess you want to call it, or whatever, professionally done decals, I will use a little bit of this micro set, and I will put it onto the thing. Now, one thing I always do before I do that is always make sure you clear coat your car, because that way you don't run into any problems, especially if the paint's a water-based paint like this, like the Createx is. So when you do that, then what happens is you run into problems. And part of the problem is you run into is it can actually react with the paint. So you don't want to do that. So that's why the clear coat is really important, I think, to do that. And also by putting that micro set on there, it makes it easier for the decal to slide around. Sometimes maybe too easy. But okay, so we got those on there. I'm going to put the micro sol on there afterwards, because it's solvent and it kind of makes helps the decals to sit down, especially when you get that little bit of a cowling on them. So that's kind of what I use. Anyways, I'll put a little bit of this on here in a moment and run that over the decal, and that'll help us soften it up and set it in place. Let's move on. All right, well, we're back here in the shop. We got our 57 Chevelle SS all ready to put together. Again, put those stripes on there. Got some nice 5-spoke salmon wheels on the base. I didn't do anything for the interior. I detailed up the lights and the little hood pins and the door handles on the body, but that's about it. So we're going to put this thing together, and we'll take a look and see what we got.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're back, and we have our fully assembled custom 70 Chevelle SS. Again, I stripped it all down, primed it with some Tamiya fine white primer, and on top of that I laid some Wicked Colors charcoal metallic as a base, and then I did the Createx Poison Ivy Candy 2.0 over it, and so that's why you can see a little bit of a metal flake through that. Really great. I added those decals I got from Second Chance Redlines. The wheels are 5 spokes that I got from Sam Ed Wheels. See, I detailed the lights a little bit there in that back bumper, and then on the front, I took some paint and from flat black paint, and I just kind of wiped it over there so it looks like the darkening, but it didn't make the whole grill dark. Of course, detailed the front headlights and the little marker lights on the bottom as well. Then I went over it with 2 coats of 2K clear from Diecast Graveyard. I did have a little bit of a problem with that front stripes where it goes over the cowling there. A little bit of a wrinkle. One time, actually, part of the decal tore, and actually I didn't know what I was going to do because I didn't have any more decals. Plus the fact is, I didn't know what I already get it already being dried up. But what I did is I took a little bit of, I had a couple of extra white stripe stuff I built. I did earlier this year for my son, and I took a piece of it and I laid it on top of the place where the other place had torn. Said, and you can't, unless you look really close, you cannot see where that is. I'm pretty happy with it. I like that color. That color actually comes really good. Again, it's not original with me. That color came from Austin over at Diecast Resurrection. It was one he did 4 or 5 years ago. But I just like that color, and so I think it came really good with the white interior. It was like a sharp-looking muscle car. You know, I really like those Chevelles. Of course, as you've heard me say many times on this channel, I've gotten them. I had one a 72 Chevelle. The 70 Chevelle, though, is a classic. It's a very sought-after muscle car. The Super Sport package included the 396 V8. I remember my cousin had one like that. Matter of fact, he had a green one with a black roof, and then that one was rated at 350 or 375 horsepower. They also offered it with a 454 big block V8 that was offered with it was an LS5 with 360 horsepower, or there was an LS6 that actually came from the factory that was said to be 450. That was really cool like that. Yeah. I hope you liked this build. I think it really came out really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. To all my subscribers and viewers, I really appreciate you. We're coming up pretty close to 1,000 subs, and we're going to have a special drawing for that. I just haven't figured it all out yet. But again, as always, God bless, and thanks for stopping by the shop.